So, in part one, I talked about Rathee's interpretation of Hinduism, and he questioned as to why some people should be allowed to spread hatred in the name of Ram. A Ram who was a symbol of peace, who was a symbol of calmness, who was symbol of brotherhood, who was symbol of fraternity. Why should anyone be allowed to spread hatred in his name? And he also raised another important question as to why we should follow the interpretation of a religion given by these fanatical elements. Why can't we have an alternate interpretation? Why the story of Ram cannot be interpreted in a different way? The same question could be asked by Muslims. Like, why should they follow the interpretation of Mufti Taqi Usmani or Rafi Usmani, who threw their support behind the Afghan Taliban, who are considered by many critics who are considered by many critics the forces of evil, the forces of darkness during the decade of 90s when the Afghan Taliban came into power. They reduced the status of minority, forcing them to put on a certain type of dress. They devised a certain code or a dress code for them. They restricted their freedom of religion, their freedom of worshipping, their freedom of movement, and they also banned women education. And even today, they have shut down schools, they have closed down colleges, they have put a ban on women from attending classes in universities, and this has affected millions of Afghan girls. And people like Mufti Taqi Usmani, Rafi Usmani, Maulana Yusuf Ludhianvi, the Shayukh in Arab world, the Muslim living in Western countries in North America, they have adopted a criminal silence. Nobody is ready to speak on this particular issue, which is very unfortunate. Or if they have spoken, they have not come up with vehement opposition to this. They have not come up with strong condemnation. They might have criticized, but they have not. Of course, there are people, individuals like Malala Yousafzai and some other people who have openly condemned it. And recently, Karim Khan from the International Court of Justice, he has also come up with condemnation. But most of the Muslims and especially clerics have adopted criminal silence over this. Pakistani religious political parties have adopted criminal silence over it. Maulana Fazlur Rahman, some Maulana Samil Haq Group, Jamaat Islami, and other religious parties, Sipah Sahaba, and other religious parties, they have not said even a single word about it. In the same way, why should we follow the instruction or the fatwa of Mufti Shafi or Maulana Shafali Thanvi, who opposed the introduction of loudspeaker, and now their descendants are openly using the same loudspeaker without tendering any apology, without showing any remorse, without showing any regret at all. They are unabashedly using it. In the same way, the same mullah opposed printing press in the past, with leading clerics in the Ottoman empires opposing the printing of Islamic books, and for more than 100 years such books were not published, while on the other side of the region, on the other side, in Italy and other countries, printing press was working, and this kept Muslim, in the state of ignorance for a very long time. In the same way, why should we follow clerics like Maulana Ilyas Qadiri, who strongly opposed television and going to the extent, according to some critics, asking his followers to even sell it out or break it. And now he has set up his own Madani channel. And unabashedly, he's there round the clock. And he never bothered to tender an apology that I was wrong. I mean, these clerics consider themselves even greater than Prophet. Like, for instance, Adam and Eve, they did say, Rabbana zalamna anfusana wa illam taghfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna min al-khasirin. They tendered an apology. They sought, forgiveness of God. But these mullah, they do not bother. All right, Mufti Shafi is not there, Ashraf Ali Thanvi is not there, but their descendants are there. At least they should have summoned enough courage to say that our ancestors were wrong and they should not have said that loudspeaker was wrong. In the same way, there were section of clerics who also issued fatwa against ultrasound, against telephone, against photography. And now these all mullahs are having photographs. Like Mullah Umar would not have a photograph. Mullah Hebatullah Khan even today doesn't have any photograph, but other mullah, they are having photograph. Mufti Mahmood had a number of photographs. Tariq Jamil from Tablighi Jamaat, but his guru Mullah Abdul Wahab and other people, they did not have photographs. So they do not bother to explain that our ancestors were wrong or we were wrong in thinking that photography was haram. So why shouldn't we question that? How come something is declared haram or un-Islamic when it starts serving the interest of mullah? Within no time it becomes Islamic, or it becomes halal. Why did clerics in the past declare that loudspeaker was haram, and why are they unabashedly using it? Why did Ilyas Qadri think in the past that TV is haram, and now he is unabashedly appearing on TV round the clock saying a lot of illogical things? Why did Afghan Taliban and their leaders, issue fatwa that were against women, that were against, girls? And why did Pakistani mullah support it? In the same way, Jamiat Ulama Hind considers secularism a blessing, but Jamiat Ulama Pakistan, that is a sister organization of Jamiat Ulama Hind, strongly opposes secularism in Pakistan. Jamiat Ulama Hind wants a lot of freedoms, equal rights for minorities, for Muslims, for Christians, for Dalits, and for other minorities in India. But Jamiat Ulama Pakistan does not seem to endorse the same ideas, and many religious organizations in Pakistan do not want equal rights for minorities. Jamiat Ulama Hind want secularism in India that allows even Muslim to become president of the country or making it to the key positions in Indian bureaucracy. But Jamiat Ulama Pakistan and other religious organizations do not want to do the same. So we need to question these mullah as well. It is because of their interpretations that organizations like Daesh emerge. They sold out hapless Yazidi women, carried out appalling human rights violations in Syria and in Iraq, especially against Yazidi women and Shiite. In the same way, why should we follow Dr. Israr Ahmad and listen to him, or why shouldn't we question the rationale of his arguments when he even seems to be justifying Londi and Bandi and slavery even today? Why shouldn't we question the silly argument of Dr. Zakir Naik, who also seems to suggest that women are inferior, who also seems to have a firm belief in the inferiority of non-Muslim in a Muslim country, while he wants freedom for himself. He wants to roam about the world. He wants to deliver lectures. He wants this freedom. He wants the freedom of preaching of his own religion in all parts of the world. But he does not want to extend the same right to Christians, Hindus, and other people. So this is very unfortunate. We shall continue this in part 3.